Previously on
Dungeons
Call
and
of
Dragons. Our heroes made their way down the stairs to find the bottom deck floor completely covered in hundreds of skeletons. All the way in the back, our heroes spotted their kidnapped crew all locked up in cages. However, between our heroes and their goal was a decaying man dressed as a captain with glowing eyes and a gigantic flesh monster. Chad approached the captain pretending to negotiate with him for the release of the prisoners. However, it was really an excuse to get close and stab him. Everyone else spread out as far away from the hell monster as possible, not wanting to mess with it, leaving Chad to be completely surrounded. With the enemies distracted by Chad, Bulent moved in to assist. Meanwhile, Duke and Allura began to blend in with the wall. Chad shifted his attack focus to the flesh monster with a slash from his fire sword. However, the monster began absorbing the fire and starting charging up energy from it. Duke, now having the perfect opportunity to test out his new spell, Duke taught the flesh monster to fly and it began floating in the air. Allura then summoned her magical lasso to wrangle in the beast. With the monster helpless and tied, Bulent closed in on his target, a decision I'm sure he won't regret later. Duke, having done what he wanted to do, ignored Allura's warnings and moved across the room over the bones to try to free the members of the crew that could help them in combat. That was when the bones came to life and surrounded him. Duke, having been spooked by the Skelebros, forgot that the flesh monster absorbs fire and he threw fire at it, charging it up further. Bulent decided to trust Chad with the monster and stayed put and tried to shoot the skeletons off of Duke. That was when Chad attacked with his fire sword again. The monster reached maximum fire charge and exploded. The explosion hit literally everyone in the room except for Allura. Janet, Steve, and Phil all became dying. Also, Dirty the intern was vaporized and his shadow was burned into the wall. However, nobody cared. The monster was finally defeated. However, from the monster's body, all of a sudden Skadoodle burst from the monster's flesh. He had returned from his quest from the void just in time to do nothing. Allura, being the only person uninjured from the explosion, managed to kill the captain by breathing on him. Bulent and Cappuccino, being the master lockpickers that they are, freed the crew and revived everyone except Dirter. Having accomplished their goal and defeated all the enemies on the ship, our heroes began to plunder. In the back of the lower deck, they found a bunch of treasure chests and our heroes each took one. Inside, they found a bunch of money, a drift globe, a rare and valuable painting, a book of games, and a hat of disguise. They also found 2 sarcophagi, one of which had the skeleton of a woman. Our heroes surmised that the captain was in the other and the flesh monster was his attempt to resurrect her. Duke, having been displeased with the contents of his chest, went back upstairs and levitated the organ off of the ship. His room is really coming together. Meanwhile, Chad mastered the ways of the downward dog while Bulent thoroughly enjoyed his new hat. All the while, Skadoodle burned down the ghost ship. Our heroes resumed their journey for 2 more days until they were suddenly interrupted by a group of Lair Sea ships approaching them.